So this is crazy. Literally, when I put up my Gento reaction to SB19, I was like, I wish that Simon Servida, who helped produce this song, would put up some sort of full breakdown or like behind the scenes of how he produced this song. And here we are. I got a comment in the comment section saying, "Hey, Simon just released a full video." I'm like, this is sick. I'm really excited to see this because it's such cool production. And I saw there was like a 60-second video that he put up, and I was like, I want to see more. But here we have it. And stay tuned because I've been messaging Simon Servida, and we've been in communication with something cool. Our third interview together. I've done 2 with him in the past. One when he produced What, then one when he produced their EP or helped produce their EP, their previous EP, and now we're in communication probably next month to get up back on our Zoom call for our third interview. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen the other 2, go check them out, and if you have, stay tuned for the new one. I'm really looking forward to this. As somebody that makes my own music, I'm gonna put him bigger on the screen. So hold on a sec, but let's do this. As somebody that makes my own music and produces, appreciates SB19's music and Simon's talent, and also his humor, because he's like a really fun guy to watch on social media. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. So let's get right into this. This is Simon Servida talking about how he made GENTO for SB19.
On May 19, 2023, I produced a song for a Filipino boy band. The boy band is called SB19, and the song I produced for them is called GENTO.
Hold on a sec. Let me actually make this a little small, because we have subtitles. There we go.
And little did I know, over the next few months, this song would go viral. There have been thousands of videos of people on YouTube reacting to the song, and it also turned into a viral dance challenge on TikTok. Celebrities, dancers, and other artists were all making videos with it. Everybody's pointing at the ground and humping the air like this. And as of right now, the song has 30 million views on YouTube, 25 million streams on Spotify, and over 1.8 million videos on TikTok.
That's a lot of videos. So for like a song to go viral on TikTok, you really only need like not that many. And let me rephrase it. Like, you still need a lot, but it's like for example, I know like a band that I follow went viral on TikTok, and one of their songs, like, it had, I think even still after it went viral, it had like maybe 100,000 videos made, which is a lot of videos. Don't get me wrong, but like to get over 1 million videos like that is crazy.
So today I'm going to give you guys a breakdown on how I made the entire beat and the process behind it. I get a message from Pablo on January 21, 2022. He goes, "Hey Simon, are you busy right now? We're making a new EP and we want some beats." I say, "Of course, what's the timeline?" He tells me he wants me to work on the main song for the EP, which is called GENTO. And then he sends me this little document on how he wants.
That's almost 2 years ago at this point.
The song to sound. GENTO means like this gold, aiming for a grimish drillish beat, heavy, dark sounding, dancing, incorporating sounds that can be found at the mining site, rocks, pickaxes, hammers.
Wow.
Now before I actually started making anything, they sent me a demo that they worked on, and this is how it sounds.
GENTO, GENTO, dito basta basta bingo. Ritmo, makumpleto parang bento. GENTO, kinaya ko. Ino kayang bubunan
I like that vocal higher.
Hinto, di na baling walang pinto. 100% bawat bitaw ko. Mismo, ito kaya mo. Dito basta-basta makakakita ng GENTO.
Ooh.
GENTO.
Serious bass.
GENTO.
So if you listen to the song, you know it sounds completely different than what the demo is. They said it sounded a little too monotonous, and they wanted to be a bit more upbeat. So the first thing I thought of was this bass line idea. What I did was extracted the vocals, and then I came up with this bass line.
GENTO, GENTO, dito basta-basta bingo. Ritmo, makumpleto parang bento. GENTO, kinaya ko.
So that's the main bass line I decided for the song, and then after that we just added this really simple kick and clap pattern.
GENTO, GENTO, dito basta-basta
That's a
bingo.
nice clap.
Ritmo, makumpleto parang
After that we have this shaker hi-hat pattern.
ginto, ginto, di na baling walang pinto. 100% bawat bitaw ko.
Sounds like there's some sort of echo on the shaker.
Alright, and then we go into my first drop idea, and this one is pretty bad. So let's just kind of cringe for a second. Yeah, I don't like it.
So that's part of the creative process, is like just creating, and then sometimes you realize, that's pretty terrible. but it leads you to your next idea or the final idea or the better idea. So you can't cringe at yourself while you're, so that the worst thing you can do as a creator is cringe yourself or to, cringe at the idea while you're making the idea. Get the idea out, and then after the fact, you can be a judge of it, and then you can decide to keep it, change it, use it. But like, what causes writer's block is you're being too analytical of your ideas, rather than just writing them down or just letting yourself have ideas and then judging them after the fact. So make the idea and then judge after the fact.
There is some components that I ended up using. He always mentioned.
There are some components that he ended up using. See, like, so if he had not created that idea, he probably would not have led to the next ideas.
Yeah, I don't like it. There is some components that I ended up using. He always mentioned that he wanted that mining site looking for gold soundscape. So there was a bunch of things I put to just kind of emphasize that. Snares like this, where it's kind of metallic sounding. I added this chant of army guys singing like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then I made this really easy counter melody that went right over the bass line.
I like that though.
And then that was the end of the first date. I sent that demo out to Pablo, and then this is what he told me. Thinking more faster and intense vibes. For the drop, he said it was okay. Personally, I didn't love it that much, but if he said it was okay, I'll kind of stick with it. We change it later. So now we go into our second pass, and then this is where stuff really comes together.
He's a great storyteller.
I had this idea of a melody. Since GENTO meant gold, the thing that was just kind of sticking out in my head was money. So I just started incorporating a lot more money ideas. So I added this little cash register ka-ching, and that goes in with the beat. And then one of the most important parts was I created this vocal sample. So I came up with this melody, and I wanted to make it sound really cool and really robotic. And this is how I did it. So first, I recorded it incredibly slow. I'm gonna turn the effects off. I'm really exposing myself right now. Listen to how just crappy this sounds. Oh, I spent that money, yeah. Yep, that's awful. So the first thing I did was pitch it up 1 semitone. Oh, and then I stretched it so that it was a lot quicker. Oh, I spent that money, yeah. We add a bunch of effects, some auto-tune, some compression, more compression, some EQ, some saturation.
Wow, okay, so let's talk about these. Auto-tune is pitch correction. Compression essentially is like think of it like the bread of a sandwich. It lets anything, the bread keeps everything in the sandwich, so it means like the top of the bread won't let anything fall out of the top, and the bottom of the bread won't let anything fall out of the bottom. So like what it actually does is it compresses, brings together, I guess you could say, when you're putting a sandwich together, it brings all the elements within the two pieces of bread. So nothing will be louder than this, and it brings anything that's up here quieter, and it brings anything that's too quiet louder. So it kind of makes a more even sound. You can get a really squashed compression, or you could just do it so that there's not like peaks and valleys, if that makes sense. Saturation I think is adding harmonic overdrive, if I am correct. It definitely adds like some sort of warmth overdrive, like almost to some degree some sort of distortion, but I think it's done through harmonics, if I'm correct. Echo Boy obviously is an echo, and what else do we miss? EQ is filtering or changing the frequencies, changing the sound of the sound.
Auto-tune, some compression, more compression, some EQ, some saturation, and then some echo, and then we get this. Oh, I spent that money, yeah. Then we ran into some OTT.
That's cool. I don't know what OTT is though.
And then after that, went under the hood into the pitch corrector. So instead of this, we bring the formant down a couple cents.
Formant is like, and you'll hear it in a sec, formant is like the tonality of the voice, keeping the same pitch, but it just sounds either like deeper or like more nasally.
Then we bring that down an octave. That is our main melody for the beat. Let's take a look at the pre-chorus section. So in this kind of genre, you're always really trying to change it up every so often.
Like, how cool is it that his voice is in the middle of the beat? That's so cool.
For this one, instead of going for that dark, fun party vibe for the verse, we are now changing it up and making the pre-chorus a little bit more melodic, a bit more movement. We start off with a pad that has this little filter sweep here. And then we add in a couple extra things to give it a bit more rhythm. We add these plucks. We also add in this lead.
Dude, these are sick sounds that he's using.
So we have the same bass as in the verse.
See, like, that's a beautiful synth, and like the hard part is like I kind of might have wanted to push that farther in the mix, but like he did a good job keeping it like kind of like subtle in the mix because it makes you want to hear more, and it's not like, okay, I'm done with it, you know what I mean?
First, and we have the same rhythm, but this time we are doing a new chord progression. So now it's like this.
Interesting.
And then we are adding classic build-up. We're just doing these 8-note claps with a little couple syncopated ones in between there. Some lifters. Boom, boom, and then we go into our drop. And the hook is actually super similar to the verse. The only thing I do is I add this main melody that we made before. And then let's hear that together.
So catchy.
So one thing I love when working with these guys is they give me so much freedom to just experiment and try whatever I want. I don't remember why, but for some reason, this like flute melody just popped in my head. If you remember in the note, he doesn't want any ethnic sounds. He wants like heavy, dark dancing sounds. And I was like, I'm just feeling fluty at the moment. So I structured out the song. I put in the dance breaks that we made before. And then, you know, I just kind of sneak this little flute section just right at the end. If he doesn't say anything, okay, but you know, it doesn't hurt. I'll just throw it in here. And this is how the section goes. We start with the flute melody. Add this little filter so that it just kind of sounds a little bit weird. Sexy snaps.
But they call that a flange. It was a, I think it's something about a flange. Flanger, I think it does something with like it's in the modulation family, so it's some sort of shifting of frequencies. I'm not sure what the difference between. I got to do research between a flanger and a phaser, but both of them kind of give this chorusy movement of frequency pitch sound.
And then I added these sexy breaths.
I wonder if that's his.
And then we also have our 808.
Kermit the Frog
Very similar to
and
the
Jiggy
pattern
with
in
it.
the other bass line, but now it's just a different sound. Right before the verse ends, we do a tape stop, and then we bring it back up right before the snap, and it's just so satisfying to me. You want to look at the time now? 26 hours. Why did that take me so long? So at this point,
26 hours of working on that song. That's pretty amazing, man. It's pretty amazing. And I would, you know what's funny is I would actually, I've tracked my timing on how long it takes for songs for me, and I've noticed it's almost exactly about 25 hours per song typically. So that's very interesting.
point we have the main ideas pretty much there, and now everything is just tweaking and refining, and that's where Pablo really comes in. He's giving me timestamps. At 50 seconds, delay the entry of the chorus. At 1:30, leave some silence for the next rapper to come in. He mentions he likes the flute part, and then there is one more section at the end that he wanted me to touch up on. So now it's just a lot of tweaking. So this time the intro's a little bit longer. I'm adding in these anvil noises, adding these cinematic fills. At the second verse now.
Wait, hold on a second. The Cashmere hits. Those are the classic hits on Splice. Cashmere is a producer that makes these incredible cinematic sounds.
At the second verse now, we do this complete breakdown section where we remove all the instruments and we just have these like cool cinematic drums going in.
I use a lot of Cashmere sounds in, I think, my song Overcomplicated. Either Overcomplicated or Confident.
drums come back in. We're now at the fourth and final pass. Pablo actually sends me his vocals over, so I really have an understanding of where things are going. So,
well, it's pretty amazing how involved Pablo is just in general. Like, he is the one making the creative decisions with Simon. I'm surprised actually that the whole band isn't like making these decisions together. But I guess Pablo's more the producer, and the other guys sing more, I guess, which is like, there's no harm in that. I'm just it's kind of cool actually, because it just shows the level of creativity that Pablo has.
So this is him doing Ken's part.
No rush, I can do this all day. 24 mentality like Kobe. The harder I work, the harder I play. Walang home court, sa akin sa salpa kahit away.
It's crazy. I didn't notice all those like industrial hits, to be honest. Just cool.
So they wanted,
but it makes sense because it's like talking about gold.
To make one more section where it's just a chanting, kind of a breakdown, but super high energy, where they just kind of repeat.
GENTO, GENTO, dito basta basta bingo.
So I just added as many metals and percussions and just random sounds that I can find, and I just created this drum loop here. Bring back the flute in at the end.
You know what I just realized is my video is covering Simon this whole time. My bad. Sorry, Simon.
And then let's take a look at the last drop. I texted Pablo almost a year after. I'm still trying to figure out a melody for the first.
Wow, I can't believe how long this was ago.
I really wasn't happy with that original one, and this is what I ended up doing. I found this sound in Serum that's just this screechy thing.
Serum is like the classic synth app that, or sound. It's a instrument, I guess you could say, a VST, a virtual instrument, a virtual synth that a lot of producers use, especially in the electronic scape.
Weird chromatic descending top line, and I turned the portamento up so that it's all
Portamento's
slidey and
glide.
pitchy, and this is how it sounds.
Gliding between notes.
Made it a little bit choppy. Big fat 808 at the bottom.
Heavy.
The drum sounds are really, really simple. It's just the sound of it is just a little different from what we usually had. Cool effects for my drum kit. Whew, crazy. We still had the army chants in here. And that is 33
hours later.
Not bad. But this is the final beat. Look at all of that. Not too shabby. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to listen to the full song and see the music video, I'm gonna have that in the description below. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening to the song and supporting it. I'm really grateful to be a part of something like this. Honestly, it's surreal because I just feel like I'm making beats in this room. Just a little of this, so boop 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 boop. And now there's like celebrities that I've known for years, and then they're like dancing to my music, and it's just like, whoa. They actually came to Toronto a few months ago, and I was able to go to the show, and the energy was crazy, and everybody was screaming,
so cool.
And I just never thought my music would be scream-worthy like that. Once again, thank you guys so much. I'm really happy to be a part of this. Also, be on the lookout because I'm dropping a new course very soon. It's a music production course where I talk about my entire process, all the way from making a beat to distributing it on streaming platforms. If you guys are interested in music production and what I do, then I think this course is gonna be really good for you. I'm gonna have a lot more information very soon, so keep an eye on that. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. If you'd like this video, leave a...
Very cool. Yeah, so that's actually part of the reason that we're holding off on our interview, because he said he's in the midst of like creating this course, and he's super busy with that course. So after he finishes the course, we're gonna have that interview. So stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to the follow up. I have so many good questions. Actually, leave your questions in the comments below of what you want me to ask Simon in our next interview. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace out.